Hey guys, this is Not Lamers of Invoked 101, and today I'm doing my updated Ancient Gear deck profile for the new format. It's really close to what I was playing, but I keep getting comments on that one that's like, stop picking up your cards, just give me an anxiety. It's like, to those people, whatever, people already commented about it, I don't care. But I also have changed the deck list a bit, and it does change the playstyle a bit. I've added some different stuff, added some new stuff, so we're gonna take a close look at my Ancient Gear deck. So, of course, oh, almost forgot. If you want to see more deck profiles like this, if you want to see better deck profiles and just more content in general, consider backing me on Patreon. Just that $1 a month goes towards making the Churia meta again, goes to making Ancient Gears great again, and it will also put your name in the next video after you become a Patreon. But there's also other tiers, so that way you can get a really cool Invoked mat, just like the one I have here that says Invoked 101 on it. It will also enter you into giveaways for decks purchased through Patreon. So if you guys want to be a part of that, go ahead and back me on Patreon. You can also subscribe to keep up with everything that we're doing on this channel. But without further ado, let's talk monsters. So I'm zooming in a little bit. So first off, we have 2 Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. I think that this is the proper number for this card. I don't think he should be played at more or less. He's a level 9, so he doesn't work with the trade-in that I'm playing in the deck, but he is really cool. So whenever he, like a lot of Ancient Gears, whenever he attacks, your opponent can't activate spells or traps until the end of the damage step. And then at the end of the damage step, you get to pop a back row your opponent controls. Actually, any spell or trap card on the field. So you can even pop your own gear towns and stuff with this guy. So very useful card, very cool card. And next up, we have 2 Ancient Gear Golem. Ooh, can't see him. Uh-oh. 2 Ancient Gear Golem. What he does is he has the Ancient Gear effect, and then he does piercing damage. Then for our last big monster, we have Ancient Gear Ultimate Pound. And so this guy, I know he searches Polymerization. I know that you can't be special summoned. And I know that he attacks multiple times. So he has pierce damage. Up to twice per turn when this attacking card destroys a monster by battle, you can discard a machine. This card can attack again in a row. This card on the field is destroyed by battle. A card effect, add a poly from your deck to your hand, and if you do, add 1 other Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard to your hand. So basically, it sets you up for like a fusion play. But that's it for the high level stuff. I'm actually going to zoom out a little bit because this will give me more room to put the cards. Boom. But yeah, that's it for the high level stuff. Let's talk about some of the lower level stuff. So we have 3 Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. What this does, this is like your fusion card. Whenever he's normal summoned, you inflict 600 damage to your opponent, and then you can use him and other Ancient Gears on the field or in your hand to fusion summon into the Ancient Gear monster. So he's a very cool card. Then we have Ancient Gear Wyvern. He also has the Ancient Gear effect, but he can search anything during your turn. Like whenever he's summoned, you get to search anything that has the word Ancient Gear on it, and then but you can't set for the rest of the turn. So that's Ancient Gear Wyvern, very cool card. And then we're running Ancient Gear Box. So the reason we're running Ancient Gear Box is because of the way that he works. He basically just gathers fusion materials for you whenever he's added from graveyard or deck to hand, except by drawing. So one of the cards he can add is Ancient Gear Gadget. I like running Gadget purely as a fusion material, but if you want to bump him up to 3, you can actually use stuff with him and do machine dupe plays with him, which is originally what I wanted to do. But I find that just using him as a fusion material is nice. Having also a 2K defender is kind of nice as well. But yeah, you can search him off of Ancient Gear Box, and you can search Ancient Gear Frame off of Gearbox. So Gear Frame is a new card that I'm running. I put him in because he's a 1600 Ancient Gear, which is pretty big. I think that like after Wyvern, he's the next biggest one, except for the Gemini. But the Gemini is really bad because he's a Gemini, So what this guy does is you can discard a card, add an Ancient Gear Golem or a spell or trap that specifically lists the card Ancient Gear Golem in its text from your deck to your hand. Only use this effect of Gear Frame once per turn. If this card attacks, your opponent can't activate spells or traps until the end of the damage step. This face-up card in zone of control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect. You can special summon up to 3 Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound from your hand, ignoring their summoning conditions. So that's kind of lame that he has to die by card effect. But Having another searcher that searches Ancient Gear Fusion is nice. I do kind of wish he was treated as Ancient Gear Golem on field, which would be really cool. But yeah, in most cases, Wyvern is just a better frame. The only reason I'm running him is because he's like, you can search him. And that's it for the Ancient Gear monsters. So that's all for Ancient Gear monsters. Let's talk about supports. 2 gold, 2 silver. Real simple, generic machine support. A lot of stuff in this deck is level 4. This helps with rank 4 plays. That's about it. So, gold and silver gadgets. I like 2. Let's talk spells. So I am running 3 Gear Town because Gear Town is fantastic. I don't think we're running Terraforming, actually. There's no Terraforming in this deck. So you kind of have to pray that you draw into it. But Gear Town is really good. Whenever it is destroyed, you get to special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand deck or graveyard, and you can also tribute summon Ancient Gears using 1 less tribute. So very cool card, very nice card. And you can actually combo it extremely nice with Catapult. So what Catapult does is you target a face-up card you control. If you control no monsters, destroy that target, then you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand or deck, ignoring summoning conditions. Meaning you can summon Golem. So the real cool thing about Gear Town and Catapult is that you can go activate Gear Town, activate Catapult to pop Gear Town. Gear Town will summon Wyvern, Catapult will summon Dog, and then Wyvern will search Box, Box will search Gadget or Gear Frame, and then and then you can activate Dog to fusion summon into Ancient Gear Chaos Giant, which is probably one of the best plays you can do. You can also banish this card from your graveyard to target a card you control, pop it, and summon an Ancient Gear token. So that's another, so there you go. Next up is Ancient Gear Fortress. So what this says is your opponent cannot respond to the activations or summons of an Ancient Gear monster during the turn they're summoned. They also can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects the turn they are summoned. Then, when this card is destroyed on the field, you can special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand or graveyard? From your hand or graveyard. Yeah, special summon an Ancient Gear monster from your hand or graveyard, and that is it. So, very cool card, very nice. It's almost like another, so if you open these 2, you can still make a little bit of a play, but realistically you want Gear Town more, but this just gives you another little target for it. Ancient Gear Fortress is a very nice card. It's okay. Then we have 2 Ancient Gear Workshop. What this does is, this is kind of like a warrior returning alive for the entire deck. You target an Ancient Gear monster in your graveyard, and, oh no, you actually don't target. Add 1 Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard to your hand, yeah. Actually, this one says target, but they're from like the same structure deck. They both say structure deck 10. I'm confused. Oh my god, so these are from like the same structure deck, but they have different words on them. One just says add 1 from the deck to the hand, and this one says target 1, so, but I'm pretty, but yeah, so, I don't know. And then for the last Ancient Gear card, Ancient Gear Fusion. So Ancient Gear Fusion is really cool. This card is stupid expensive, and I hate it because it shouldn't be that pricey. So Ancient Gear Fusion is a $20 card, and it says, fusion summon 1 Ancient Gear Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material. If you use Ancient Gear Golem or Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Power and you control as fusion material, you can also use monsters from your deck as material. So very nice. It includes the retrained Ancient Gear Golem in its deck, so that's cool. You can search it with like both Gear Frame and Wyvern. But yeah, this card is really nice. Big shout out to Alpha Penguin Soldier for hooking me up with this card, because he pulled it and I didn't. So, next up we have 3, oh, that's it for the Ancient Gear cards. Next up we have 3 copies of Trade-In. So, there are realistically only 3 monsters in this deck that you can use this with, which is the 3 golems, but I see this enough with the golems, and golem being searchable does help. So you can just like activate this, discard golem, and then potentially even use work, and if you draw into a second one, you can potentially like use workshop to put golem back in your hand and activate the second one. So there you go, that's trade-in for you. Overload Fusion, this summons Chaos Giant. You banish from material and it summons Chaos Giant. And then we have Tribute Burial. So this is from another Duelist pack. Tribute Burial is a really cool card, and I keep playing it in my Ancient Gear deck because I think that it's a really interesting card. So what you do is you banish 1 monster from your graveyard and 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard, and then you summon a 2 tribute monster from your hand without tribute summoning, but it counts as your normal. So this is a really cool card. I like this card a lot. I don't think it's been reprinted. I think it only has this one printing, so I don't know how much it's going for right now, but I know that it only has the one. Monster Reborn, because this card is off the ban list and I wasn't playing it. And then lastly, one Dark Hole to finish out our spells. So there we go. Then for our traps, I've only run 2, and I run 2 Heavy Storm Dusters. So Heavy Storm Duster is a really cool card. What it essentially is here for is so that way if we don't get Catapult, we can still activate Gear Town's effect to pop it. This can also pop Fortress. It's just here to help get the stuff off to get the summons. So that's what this is for. And it's a really nice card. You can also use it to like destroy your opponent's stuff. So that's it for the main deck. Let's talk about the extra. My extra is pretty much the same. 3 Howitzer. Burns your opponent, and you also get to summon an Ancient Gear from the deck, ignoring summoning conditions. And it's also unaffected by all card effects. So very cool card, very cool card. 2 Ancient Gear Chaos Giant, or Chaos Ancient Gear Giant. This guy is nuts. This is like your win con for the deck. He's a 4,500 attack monster. He only requires 4 Ancient Gear monsters as fusion material. He can attack everything on the field. He has piercing damage. He's unaffected by spells and traps, and monster effects cannot activate in the battle phase. Very insane card, just nutty. So then we have Ancient Gear Megaton Golem. Megaton Golem requires 3 Ancient Gear monsters, and if you use Ancient Gear Golems, you can he can attack that many times equal to the amount of golems used as fusion summon him. So he can go up to like 3 attacks. Then if he dies by an opponent's card effect, which I really wish it was if it was battle or tributed, if he just left the field because of your opponent, you get to summon a Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck. So we also run Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. He requires Ancient Gear Golem and 2 other Ancient Gear monsters. He has the same exact effect as Ancient Gear Golem, except he also has a bonus effect that when he leaves the field, you get to summon an Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard, ignoring summoning conditions. So this card is also super cool. Very nice to have. That's it for the fusion monsters. So there are plenty of ways to fuse in this deck. There's also plenty of ways to revive this stuff in this deck, so that's why we're playing so many. But we're also playing some Xyz monsters. We're playing Gear Giant X to search Gearbox. We're playing Heavy Armor Train Iron Wolf to attack directly. We're playing number 70 Malevolent Sin because I like this card and I've never seen it played anywhere else, so I'm playing it. Then we have the Utopia package, so we have Utopia and Utopia Prime. This should be Lightning. I actually traded for a Lightning, but it got chewed up in the mail, which is unfortunate, but one day this will be a Lightning. And then for our Link monsters, we just have Underclock Taker and Miss Radiant, because this is an Earth deck, but we also have the gadgets, so you can go into this and then pop off. This should be Land Falinkus. I don't have any Land Falinkus. So that is it for the Ancient Gear deck. Let's bloop. Let's get an Ancient Gear monster on top here. Let's cut this part out. Boop. And okay. Go away, truck. Okay. I'm just gonna go. Alright, but anyways, so that is my Ancient Gear deck. I hope you guys liked it. This deck is super fun, super cool on a casual level. I really like it. I think it's great. If you can get Ancient Gear Fusions, play Ancient Gear Fusion. I would honestly play it at 2, but it is a little hard to get a hold of. The rest of the stuff, almost all of it comes in the structure deck, except for like this one and Megaton Golem and Chaos Giant, but these are pretty easy. But everything else is pretty cheap. So if you guys are just looking for a fun deck that honestly kind of plays like Blue Eyes White Dragon, but you don't want to invest in the Blue Eyes, this could be the way to go. So thank you guys for watching. As always, tell me what I can do down in the comments to make this deck better. And again, if you want to get more deck profiles from me, if you want to see more deck profiles, consider backing me on Patreon. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, what's up? This is Not Lammers of Invoked 101, and today you're listening to Kiss FM. Come on, don't. That sounded like it was like, come on, guys. We're about to listen to the radio.
Tune in.
Tune in to hear Shakira Knightley's new. Shakira Knightley's a. That's not even a real person.
Next week on Remote 101, tune in to see Non mess up his intro.
Alright, okay, for real this time.
We'll put it at the end as blooper.
Yeah.